Welcome to GovMate's Next Gen, a podcast that will cover hot topic industry discussions as well as innovation news and technology chats regarding the ways in which small businesses and non-traditionals are driving change for government customers and the end user. GovMate's Next Gen, where innovation and collaboration collide. Welcome back to another episode. We've been rocking and rolling on these tech talks, and I am impressed that there's such a plethora of technology and solutions available and being developed in the government for the government customer. Today, I have the pleasure of chatting with a good friend of mine, Frank Sturek from SkyePoint Decisions. Frank and I have worked together in a previous GovCon life regarding some of the work that SkyePoint has done and continues to do, so I can personally attest to him being a good GovCon human. SkyePoint is a poster child for GovCon growth and their transition toward becoming a full and open prime contract holder. In this discussion today, we're going to chat over some of the ways SkyePoint has developed new solutions, as well as what's coming next to their company. And heads up, they do have some hiring opportunities available, so stay tuned for that. Without further ado, I bring you Frank and SkyePoint Decisions. Thank you today, Frank, for joining us. And I want to jump in to our very first question, which is, who are you and what makes you an expert in your industry?
Frank Sturek, I'm the president of SkyePoint Decisions. We are a cybersecurity architecture engineering company. That's our core business. But we do a lot of other IT services, infrastructure, enterprise IT, and then also software development. And what really sets us apart in the industry is we have the ability to actually develop solutions. So Bo Kimbrough, who is the owner of the company, founded it in 2009, has always been one of these owners that wants to invest in the business, right? So we have a chief solutions officer, just recently got promoted to chief technology officer, a guy named Jason Weaver, who's fantastic. And from the overhead perspective, I have that asset to be able to develop technical solutions to solve customer problems. And we do that by applying, the brain power that our chief technology officer has, but he also understands exactly what we're doing on contract. So we are leveraging our intellectual property, if you will, our folks in the field, but not in a way where we have to pull them off of contract and try to teach them how to write and those kind of things. We have Jason that has a pulse on what we're doing. And then he and I come up with crazy ideas about, hey, what do we think about this technology? Can it be applied to a problem that we see on contract? Or here's an opportunity to go after. Do we think we could develop a solution using this technology or partnering with this company to do that? And so while I'll have like the grandiose kind of ideas, Jason's the one that takes those and turns them into reality, right? And so we are actually able to develop solutions, I think, that are responsive to the market. So that's what sets us apart. I mean, we are a services company, but we do partner with technology providers, but only to develop the best solutions for our customers.
And I can confirm, you and I go way back as far as the government industry or GovCon industry is concerned. We've worked together several times and can confirm that Jason is a fantastic asset to your team, as the whole team is. You guys over there are really doing some great things. And like you said, providing solutions that are a little bit different in the space, that are needed and necessary as things continue to move forward, especially in that cybersecurity area.
Yeah, in fact, we also just made a recent investment. We're bringing on a full-time, full stack software developer to help us develop software solutions. And we're actually making an investment also into creating our own development environment so that our developers can create solutions and test out things in an enclave and then share that with the customer and say, hey, this is on our architecture, what I'm supporting. Here's how we can solve this problem. And again, we've made the investment to have someone in the corporate staff help work with our developers to refine those solutions and make them compelling. So that's something that's upcoming. So we are, definitely moving down the road of cybersecurity, but we're also moving down the road of software development and application development.
I think that's the definition of rapid growth.
Yeah, you got to have, you can't wait until you grow to make stuff happen. Sometimes, it's the timing thing. I think, we see the market and we understand enough what we need, and we're connected enough with our customer to help, where we're trusted enough for them to talk to us about what their challenges are.
So speaking of customers, who exactly does SkyePoint Decisions serve? Are you mostly in DoD, or do you kind of span, government and commercial? Where are you guys usually located as far as that's concerned?
Yeah, we are strictly a government contractor, so no commercial. Our two largest customers, our legacy customer, the one that we've always supported and how the company was founded, was at Department of State. So supporting the Bureau of Information Resource Management, has been, what's founded the company, started the company. And then we've branched out into different parts of the Department of State, supporting information assurance, diplomatic security, some of the regional offices and desks and those kind of things, budget and planning. And then our most recent large win, it's actually the largest prime contract win that the company's had, was we won a prime at the Department of Education, supporting the Federal Office of Federal Student Aid. So all the FAFSA work, if you have a college student where you're providing your information, how much money you make, and all of the loan information that you could get from the third-party lending institutions and also the institutes of higher learning, we're protecting all of those applications to make sure that process works. And so it was a game changer for us. We went from 90 folks billing to over 155 billing. With that win. So it was a step function for us. And we're doing a risk management framework, governance, risk and compliance, and DevSecOps, so development, security, operation, development of applications. So it's a great contract for us. So those are our two biggest ones. We do have some DoD work. We're supporting the Defense Contract Audit Agency with software development and some tier 2 and tier 3 help desk for their applications. And then we're also in the Environmental Protection Agency, mostly on the cybersecurity side, and a little bit at the IRS, doing some software testing and some network operations support.
Yeah, and with that new contract, that sounds like a heavy lift. I mean, knowing personally how many FAFSA forms I've filled out in my career as a student, I can only imagine what that does for you guys. So
yeah.
the 155 billing,
super exciting stuff for us, really is.
It is, and it should be. So congratulations to that.
Thanks.
In those and working with those customers, what problem do you find yourself solving most often for government or industry?
So IT modernization is one of them, right? How do you optimize applications for the cloud or hybrid or as we're moving forward? Obviously, as a cybersecurity company, how do we protect all the data and the information, right? How are you, we run threat intelligence cells. So we look at ongoing tactics, techniques, and procedures, and then make sure that the software and operations that we're doing are detecting those things and how to respond to them. We do incident response. So we look at different ways on how we can quickly do that. But it's mostly in modernization of IT systems, providing that service. And right now with cybersecurity being so hot, it really is, how can you secure your systems, your applications, your networks, and your data, right? Those are the biggest problems that we have. And it's how to do it in a cost-effective manner. But right now, it's more, how do you do it so that you can minimize breaches, data escaping, those kind of things. And those are the biggest problems that we see right now.
I think sometimes when we think about cybersecurity, it's like a one-fold thing where it's like, don't use password as your password. Like that's the bottom of the barrel. But there are so many different applications of what you all are doing. Like you said, as far as this, just in cybersecurity, in the IT modernization, in cloud support, like there are so many different pieces that go into this. I don't think that most people recognize or know that they need them in the space until they find that there is a breach or that there is a problem of some sort. You all have been very good, especially in your social and on your website and things like that, in doing some of that education. So I do want to point that out for people who are listening. If you have questions about something that, Frank is talking about, they've probably got a blog on it somewhere. So making sure that they head over, you head over to that website and check that out. There are several things. I mean, I think we were talking zero trust, a year ago, 2 years ago. And that's a huge thing that is now more commonplace to see and to understand. But if you need some information on that, it's definitely a good place to go.
Yeah, no, we've definitely got a blog on Zero Trust and a lot of the other pieces that go into whether it's cyber operations, when you think of like a cyber operations center and respond to a breach, or it's governance, risk, and compliance, and making sure that your systems are hardened and your applications, meet the risk management framework standards that NIST puts out, those kind of things, right? Those are two pieces. One's the long game, and the other one is the pretty much, crisis action mode kind of game.
And you have to have both pieces in order to have that really nicely defined and secure space for whatever your company is. So not neglecting one is a really important tool as well.
Right.
So what is the most impactful solution that you all have developed so far? Is there one that you find is most popular or most necessary or most needed right now?
Yeah. So I would say the coolest one, and is this new thing that we have, is we've partnered with Tibco Software, which is a huge $2.5 billion company, and we help them develop a use case for cybersecurity using artificial intelligence and machine learning. And basically what the problem that we were listening to a customer was, hey, there's a lot of stuff out there and tactics and techniques, procedures that are known, but what about the unknown? What's the next thing? So using artificial intelligence in an unsupervised mode on a network or an enterprise to say, I don't know what that is, but that's abnormal. So that's one piece of software it will do for you. But the services part, our domain expertise in cybersecurity, we can take a look at that log. We can take a look at that instance and say, yeah, that's a problem because you have the expertise. So when you combine the two together, DHS, Immigration, Customs, and Enforcement, we were able to put together a pilot that we're starting tomorrow. It's a 90 days, 3 30-day instance, but it's a 90-day pilot where we are looking at using artificial intelligence and machine learning to develop a capability for advanced threat prediction, and it's called Threat Predict. So it will predict that this is a threat. It'll teach you about your network and then allow you to react to those breaches much quicker than, if you're, think of looking for a needle in a haystack. You got an individual that's doing it. Now you got a machine that's doing it. So what they do is they pick out the needle and give it to you and say, this could be something that's a problem. I think it's a needle. Is it the needle that, we need to react to? And that's huge because that allows these security operations center people, the domain experts, to concentrate on the real threats instead of just worrying about logging data all the time. And so we're hoping that we're very confident that it'll be well received. We're actually demoing it at TechNet Cyber next week in Baltimore for AFCEA, the show. We demoed it and talked about it out at AFCEA West earlier this year. And we're hoping to have the pilot done by mid-June and then convert that to an enterprise-wide contract.
That's amazing. And it seems like it's more multi-layered than is before. All of those pieces, you have the machine learning, you have the AI, and then you've got the person. Putting all of those together is going to almost, it seems like, cut down on the time and the process in order to see what's happening. And really, like you said earlier, the cost-effective piece. It's much more cost-effective to have somebody react to something that's already been identified versus them having to comb through exactly everything that they're doing in order to see what doesn't make sense. It's almost like when you look at one of those magic eye pictures, everything starts to look the same after a while.
Yeah, no, exactly.
You don't have that bias.
That's a great analogy. And what it shows is that the market right now is I don't want to say it's flooded, but there's plenty of solutions that say they do everything from a software perspective, right? It's just kind of the nature. Can we save money? Can we come up with something technology wise? But you got to have the human brain power, element to be able to interpret those things. So you use, technology to help you identify things, and then you use the human brain power of the domain expertise to actually solve the problem. And I think that's where, when we talked to TIBCO, that's where the aha moment came on and says, this is a win-win for both of us, right? And same thing with the customer that's interested in it.
Definitely. You guys have the people and the brain power, and they've got the software smart. So putting that together can only lead to hopefully good things. Yeah.
No, we're looking forward to seeing how this comes out for sure.
Will you all do a case study on that once you're finished with the 90 days?
Yes, we
Fantastic.
Definitely will get that out.
I want a copy of that one because I want to see how that goes. We'll make sure to share that one as well. So that's one of the things that you all are most excited about. Is there anything else that you are working toward that you can share in the next 12 months for SkyePoint?
Well, really, it's just about growing SkyePoint from a small business that's been around and been very capable for the last 12 years. We just started our 13th year this year, to becoming a full and open large business. Trying to how do we get beyond that gap, right? So we're trying to set up the structure and the capability so that we can move from small business to large business, and do so in such a way that when we make that leap, it's not we're just getting barely over the revenue number. We just blow through the revenue number, right? So we've got a lot of partnerships out there. We've got some customers at DHS that we're focusing on. Also, a lot of the Fed Civ areas to, like Department of Commerce, Department of State. And we're also looking potentially to get into some health IT. Well, we got a feedback. There's a huge contract coming up called DevMac, and it's Development Multiple Award Contract, and it's for Defense Health Agency. And so they have a lot of health providers that have become health IT services folks. We're a IT services provider that could help in the health field, right? And so we see that as a potential area for growth, is health IT. So that's like the future exciting stuff for us.
Exactly. And if you are taking some of the things that you're doing with the Department of Education and kind of adapting them for that health area, I think, in just the way of keeping things secure, that's an easy application there.
Yep. Would privacy is privacy, whether it's medical privacy or financial privacy. It's still very sensitive data, right? And so the standard for excellence is super high. And so we're used to that. And we actually welcome that challenge.
I love a good challenge.
Yeah. Exactly.
Are you all currently hiring, or are you hiring on a contract win basis usually?
Yeah, we are hiring. So we're looking to populate our corporate back office structure, with some financial folks, some operations folks, building a PMO. Because we traditionally has been always a subcontractor. We don't really need a huge program management office, but when you start being responsible for contracts execution and managing subcontractors, you need a good project management office practice, right? So we're doing that. And then, we keep winning work. So we've got a bunch of open positions in cyber that are pretty exciting. Risk analysts, data analysts, some software developers, at Department of State, at Defense Contract Audit Agency, at the EPA right now that we're trying to fill. So if someone's out there that's interested, that's got those skill sets, take a look at our website, go to careers. We've got them posted there. We would be welcome to bring you on board. And, kind of where we're at right now, it's an opportunity for the company to grow, but you can actually grow within. So one of the things I really do like about the company as far as developing our workforce is we provide incentives to get certifications and to get better. And so we pay for the training and the certification so that, obviously so that we can win more contracts, but it also allows our employees to grow and move up within the company instead of always having to hire from outside the company. So that's exciting stuff for us too.
Definitely. And it sounds like you kind of take the same approach to security as you do to hiring, which is that human element is something that can't be replaced. So making sure that you find good people, keep good people, grow good people.
Exactly.
And that's your website is SkyePoint.com, correct?
Correct.
And then there's
with an SKYE.
Perfect. SKYE.
Yep.
What is the best place for our audience to connect with you should they want to ask you questions, or is there somebody in like the hiring department that you want them to head toward, or just that careers page?
Yeah, if you're interested in employment, it would definitely be to go to the career page, but I'm always available. If you don't mind me, directing you to the actual right person. I'm on LinkedIn. As you know, Meg, you helped me grow that presence. I do answer folks that in-mail me or comment on posts that I have. You can also go to info@skypoint.com and leave us a message on our website. I'm pretty available on LinkedIn, and if you go to the career page, we can get that. And then there's if you see some of the posts that we usually have a landing page to go to provide input or ask questions, and we'll have somebody reach back out to you as needed.
You all have been very responsive always, so I can confirm that should anyone need to get a hold of somebody at SkyePoint, they'll be able to find the right person.
Yeah.
And that brings me to my very last question for you today, which is what challenge do you see facing your industry today that needs immediate solutions? I saved the hard one for last.
I would say it kind of goes to the thing, we ran this panel for Executive Mosaic a couple of weeks ago where we had the CIO of USPTO, a guy named Jamie Holcomb. We had Nate Fontaine, who is the Deputy CISO, so Chief Information Security Officer for DHS ICE. Mm-hmm. And then a couple of people that were from industry on the panel. I got to moderate the panel. And in the cybersecurity and IT modernization space, the thing that I heard from the government folks, and I've heard this several times, is I got so many software solutions that people say it's going to solve the problem, but I don't have the brain power in my government workforce to implement those or optimize them. So if you can come to me with solutions that include gray matter, and they kept using this word gray matter, obviously, the brain brain power to come along with your technology solution. And, technology companies and product companies, they're not cost structured to give you cost effective services. They're just not, right? Because it rolls all into a product. Services companies that partner with product providers can provide you a much more cost-effective and responsive way of solving your problems, right? Because they're typically, and the last one is, do you have the domain, not only domain expertise, but the mission expertise? So if you can combine cyber expertise with understanding how state's environment is, Department of State, with a technology product that is tailored to meet their challenge, well, then that's the thing that they're looking for. And so that's, I think, is the biggest challenge, because the easy button is to go to soup contract or some kind of other, buy a piece of software, have them come in, do implementation, and then leave. And then, hey, this is your software now, you get to maintain it and do it, right?
Yeah, good luck.
Good luck, right? So bringing a services arm combined to that, more a solution for what you're doing, I think is the biggest challenge, because they see the services company. They're like, well, why am I worried about you here? This is the product. Or on the other side, why do I need this product? Why can't it be something else if I have you? And, that's the biggest challenge, is trying to communicate to a customer that what we're providing is, a services arm combined with a good technology product is probably the best way to go. It's just tough to find it.
Yeah, it's more full service than just plug and play.
Correct.
And not plug and play, while something we like, is not always the best answer to really important things.
Correct. Square peg in a round hole. can't just shove it in there. You got to make it work. So
no, that's
the biggest challenge I see for the industry, right? Other than, all the normal stuff, hey, budgets happening and stuff like that. But that's the one that I see that is the most difficult when you're talking to customers and how to help them solve their problems.
That's one that I think a lot of technology companies especially face. And it sounds like you guys have a really good answer to it. So best of luck.
Always looking to team and looking for partners to work with. If you have a better solution, I mean, we have relationships with a bunch. We're not really wedded to one. And I think that's what keeps us credible with our customers. So right. we're always looking to find better ways to do something. Perfect.
Well, thank you so much for being on today. And we look forward to seeing how that 90-day piece works for you and some of the case studies that come out of that. So good luck with everything.
Yeah, thanks, Meg. Always great to talk with you, and, have a great day.
Big thanks to Frank and the SkyePoint team, and good luck to them as they start their new pilot. I look forward to the case study as well as the implications it may have across a variety of security-minded industries. As always, if you have interesting technology or topics you would like to have me discuss on NextGen, do not hesitate to reach out. My email is meg@govmates.com, spelled exactly as it sounds. I look forward to seeing you on the next episode, and until then, have a great week. This podcast is brought to you by GovMates, a technology scouting platform for innovation, collaboration, and acceleration in the federal space. We appreciate that you're along for the ride and would like to invite you to leave a favorable review on Apple Podcasts or anywhere you enjoy listening. To suggest future guests or for any questions, please email meg@govmates.com. For more information about GovMates, you can visit us at govmates.com.